you see you guys last night?
Yeah, no, it's probably overkill for them.
Not going for the presidency tonight. So ask me other questions.
Feel good to be 1-0?
Feels good to be 1-0. Yeah, sad I have to say that, but I have to say that because of other years. So as I looked at the film, again, did a lot of good things. Defensive goals were off the charts. Most of the offensive goals didn't make some shots, shot the daylights out of it tonight. So it doesn't make sense to me, but that was the only real negative issue, that and a little bit of reaching and stuff. But we did a lot of good things, a couple of foolish turnovers. They hit some great shots. So, it looked okay on film.
Initially, the defensive box outs looked pretty good initially.
Box outs were really good. We graded out really high on our box outs, which almost never happens. Even Book graded out decently on them. So that was a step in the right direction.
With Monmouth, at least they had some guys who were back. This Niagara team, I think, has 0 returning players. Is this like the beginning of the scouting nightmares from that stuff?
Yeah. I mean, 0.
Yeah.
13 new scholarship players. And so put a lot of work. John has the scout and Borovich, and him and I sat in there today. He sat here last night, half the night. We're trying to get personnel down, and they don't have, they have a center and so it's going to be a lot of work for Booker, a lot of work for Jackson Kohler, a lot of work. And speaking of Jackson, he did a lot of good things last night, couldn't hold on to the ball. When you watch the film, there was some hacking going on and stuff too, and that kind of hurt us. So we got to get stronger with the ball. That's probably one of the things. Even if we didn't turn it over, we knocked it out of people's hands.
When he spun baseline, is that now something he's going to have to adjust being on the scout? Because it seemed like there was a double ready for him whenever he did that.
100%. And I don't know why he did it a couple times. He's got a tremendous jump hook going the other way. You see the court. Spinning should be 2 out of 10, and he's making it 2 out of 4. So we talked about that today. I think you'll see him adjust that. It'll be fine.
You kind of touched on with Jeremy last night, but just kind of the journey that he got to get back to where he's at in 10 months, playing 20-plus minutes.
It's really unbelievable. I mean, there were some people, doctors, that were talking about, would he ever come back to that? I mean, you can still see every once in a while, not quite as explosive but very seldom. I mean, he's making progress. Now it's to make up for the year that he missed. And that's going to take a little bit of time. So, I think we're pretty solid there. If we can make some shots, I think we'll be fine. I mean, he had 8 assists, and he should have had 12 or 13.
There were a couple points, like the first layup that he had, that first step he had was about as good as I've seen him since that. But then that block that he had, too.
I would agree with both those things, Now, on the other side of it, sometimes reaching this way, defensively, he seemed to be a step slow and got beat, but I think it was more from reaching at the ball than actual movement. The lateral thing is going to be the hardest one to come back from, and it's coming.
So you're denying the passing lanes a little bit? Your backcourt guys were denying some passing lanes?
Yeah, we're still not going to do that. We're probably not going to press. What we did is we got up there, extended a little bit. We'll extend full court a little bit, but then I want to get back into the gaps, and we're still concerned with our gap defense and our jump into the ball. That's got to improve. So we're going to play a lot of teams that are playing 3 and 4 guards the way it looks.
I asked Simone if he had how green of a green light he has for shooting threes, and he said to ask you. So I'm wondering about that aspect of his game being a part of a feature.
You know what? It's the same old adage. If you sit there as a coach, you say, "Oh, great shot," if it goes in, and "Oh, something else if it doesn't." Simone, if that shot he took, he can make that shot. I wouldn't want a lot of those, but right now Jackson and Book can shoot them, but Simone, he can't shoot a 3 and he can make a 3.
That's an element of Jack.
With Jackson shooting the 3 as well. When did you see that come along?
This past summer, he's worked his tail off. He was decent last year, but not as consistent. Now he's one of my more consistent shooters, and he's got the green light to shoot that when he's open for sure.
Do you feel like that opens up maybe some versatility to put him in different spots, get him out of the sport when he's played so well?
Yeah, typical media guys, you can play a different spot, but you got to guard a different spot, and that's the problem. You got to be able to guard a position, and that's where those guys struggle a little bit. And so we did play him a little bit at the 4 and 5 last night, which was good. But as far as being on the perimeter, maybe against a zone, but other than that, he's still going to guard down the other end. So I'm happy the progress he made. If he doesn't fumble the ball 10 times, which he did, some because they were really good at swatting at it, some because they swatted at it and hacked him, and some that he went too fast before he caught the ball. So, he's excited to be back starting off too. So it was a learning experience.
With Jaden, you get that game to like 49-43, and then he has, I think, 9 straight points right in that realm. The understanding that that's his role, is that something you were looking for from him, and you were pleased with what you saw yesterday?
I mean, not only looking for, expecting. He's a senior. That's what Valentine did. That's what different guys did. That's what Cassius did. I mean, when you're in a program that for 4 years, you should be able to do that. I mean, Jaden played good last night. I didn't think out of this world, but I thought he played good in every aspect. He was very good defensively. He rebounded well. He made passes. He made shots. He made drives. That was probably the best overall performance of his life as far as covering all categories. And I think he's capable of that. Now we'll see if we can consistently do that.
With Jace, is there anything that surprised you with the way he's been able to handle the college level in practice or in the games?
I have been a little surprised. He's very smooth. He seems to do things effortlessly, and he picks things up very well. I think comes from a basketball family, both mom and dad, and has a very high basketball IQ, and just kind of knows where to go. Not a lot of wasted motion in his game. When he goes somewhere, he's going for a purpose. That's the best compliment I can give him. He shot the ball and is shooting the ball way better than I thought he would when I recruited him. That's a nice plus.
When you watch back with Frankie and Booker, what were some of the things that maybe you saw that were a little different or a little better or worse?
Yeah, just a little more grit, I mean, like Book did a couple things today. I mean, he actually guarded a little better. He actually graded out a lot better. So those are effort-related things. What he didn't do, he did poorly, was the one thing that he's really good at. I mean, he took some of those shots inside. He just threw the ball at the basket. The threes were all wide open, and I'm betting on him on those. But he's just got to get more consistent and not kind of a casual approach to his shooting.
Is it the self-starting thing? When he gets the fire under him, he kind of takes it.
Yeah. I mean, there's no question that I've said all along. He's got to play with more passion in that, and he wants to. He just sometimes doesn't know how to, and that's why the sport. That's why the game. That's why some people come on later than others, and some people earlier than others. But he's aware of it. He's working on it, and I'm pleased with that. Do I want it to come faster? Yeah, I do.
With Aikens, had a nice medium range pull up. It had a step back that he missed that looked pretty good.
I'm not crazy about the step backs, personally. Everybody says, well, it's a pro move for who? Maybe a very small percent. LeBron, if Jaden grows overnight to 6'8", 260 and can jump out of the hemisphere, then maybe I do it. But it's a tough shot to step back. He does work on it. He made one, missed one. If he can step back and be straight up, straight down, that's different than stepping back, falling away. So, he works on it. He's got the freedom to shoot it, but I can't say it's my favorite part of his game.
Did Charlie Bell do that a little bit? Step back once in a while?
A little bit, but from a lot more mid-range, Jaden sometimes takes threes that way.
Will your keys be similar to Monday night, or having seen a game now, are there some other things that you want to see Thursday that you maybe weren't looking for the first game?
No, I want to see a lot more than I saw, last game. I want to see a little more consistency. I want to see us shooting better. I want to see us passing better. We didn't have a lot of turnovers with the pass, but we didn't have a lot of completions for touchdowns. You know, I had to stop running, catch it, and get tackled. You know, we were open, and we threw passes here, not shootable passes. Completed, yes. So I'd like to see that a little bit more. And the running game was pretty good. Stopping dribble penetration, and this team might be harder to do that against than the team we played. They have more guards that are more athletic, even with strength.
Curtain seems to really make the most of his opportunities when he gets in there.
Well, you know, like every kid. I mean, he right now is come on a little later, but he maybe shoots it as good as anybody on my team. And if you look at one thing he does that you hope a great shooter, he reminds me of Sean Respert, Brent Ford. His shot is the same every single time he shoots it. You got a lot of guys that are off balance and this. Every time he shoots it, I swear I think it's going in. So as he improves defensively and gets in even a little better shape, I mean, his game's going to really grow, I think. And is he going to have a chance to have that happen? You know, there is a process to it, who gets first opportunities. But, you know, Jace has made the most of his, and he's starting to stack minutes together. If Kerr does that, if guys don't play as well or don't shoot it as well, same thing's going to happen for him.
On your pregame show yesterday, you mentioned something about Jackson and Trey being more comfortable off the bench. And I'm curious, is that comfort in role? Is that comfort in expectations? Like, what kind of comfort did you need?
I just said, I don't know if they're more comfortable wanting to be. I just said they're comfortable doing it. And they're comfortable doing it because I've asked them to do it, if you want the truth. And not that, you know, I change anything, but I told everybody here, I told everybody all summer, Jackson was as consistent as anybody on our team. Sometimes you want to know you have consistency coming off the bench. So some of it is for me. And so I have a good feeling on, scoring coming off. I mean, that was not one of his best games last night. He has played really well for 6 months.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys.
Thank you.